Update, I am done and I am heartbroken. I have no one. Original post. I have been married for 15 years. I have known my wife since I was 8. We have 3 daughters together, 17, 14, and 11. I'm tired of feeling like I'm an outsider in my relationships with all of them. I'm just an ATM and taxi service to my kids. My wife hasn't kissed me in 6 months, and she has not said that she loves me in 1.5 years. No matter how much I communicate, try to plan anything or do anything, it is always shot down, forgotten, or dismissed. I don't get angry and don't yell. I don't get physical. I like to splurge during birthdays and Mother's Day. I throw parties and give gifts and try to show how much I love them. But I get a lukewarm thanks, and if I'm lucky, a side hug that lasts 0.0001 second. This week was the breaking point. Father's Day. I wake up to an empty house. Odd. No note, nothing was written on the calendar, and nothing said beforehand. I send a text, and I get back, I took the girls out for a spa day, don't wait up. Then nothing, literally nothing. Dinner time comes around and they get home. I asked how their day was, it was fine. I asked what they would like for dinner. Nothing, we already ate at one of my favorite restaurants. Cool, whatever. There is no mention of it being Father's Day. No I love you, how are you? Nothing. Fast forward to Wednesday, which was my birthday. Nothing. Literally again, nothing. I suggested plans, they get shot down. I suggested food. Nope, shot down. Ask about watching a movie, and they are all too busy when they just sat on their phones doing nothing. Now to Thursday night. I'm in bed with my wife is next to me. She rolls over and says in a crappy tone, "Oh, your birthday was the other day. I guess you expect to have sex." That broke something in me. Best of my memory of how it went down, I said, "No, I don't expect it." At this point, I don't expect anything anymore. Her, what is that supposed to mean? So I started asking her questions. When was the last time we shared a kiss? Like a week? Nope, it was in December, and it was during her parents' holiday party. When was the last time we had bedroom fun? The beginning of the year? Nope, wrong. It has been over a year. She was adamant that we did it in February when I was dealing with my mom's health and her passing. So I said something like, "You may have had sex, but it wasn't with me." When was the last time you said you love me? I say it all the time. Not to me, check your messages. And you don't say it to me face to face. Well, you should just know I do. When was the last time we went on a date? Long pause. Her, you're being unfair. Emotions turned on fully. I was crying and raising my voice at this point. I asked her how. She can't answer. I asked her how wanting any sign of love from anyone in the house is unfair. If expecting anything for my birthday or Father's Day was unfair. She got an oh crap look. Yeah, you forgot that as well. I'm not an ATM. I'm not a taxi service. I'm not a punching bag. She asked why this was coming up out of the blue. It didn't. I have tried to talk to my family and again get dismissed or ignored. I brought up examples and I got an "I didn't know you were serious. I didn't know it was such a big deal." I left saying something to the point of, if you want to pretend that I'm invisible and don't exist, fine, you don't have to pretend anymore. I left the house at almost midnight on Thursday/Friday morning and haven't been home since. I'm not sure what to do now. I'm finally sober enough to think, but I don't know what to do. First time drinking in over 15 years by the way, and I'm not going to drink anymore. I love my family, but I can't keep this up. I don't know what more I can do. I think they would be happier without me. They already act like I don't exist. I can't be the one who is blamed for everything. If I truly am the problem, then me not being there should fix it. I can't do it anymore. I have tried to be a good provider, a good partner, and a good dad. Never missed an event of our kids, never prioritized work. I kept good hours so I could see them more. Took on more responsibility to better our life and future. But it is never appreciated. It is never enough. I am never enough. I only have one message from my wife. I'm sorry for making you feel that way. We all love you, and we are here for you when you want to come home and talk. That is it, no other messages. No calls, nothing from the kids. I feel like if they really wanted me there, they would try reaching out more. All of the kids have their own phone. I don't know what she told them. I'm sure they heard me raise my voice. Me raising my voice would have definitely got their attention since I never do. I'm sure they heard me leave. I just don't know. This made me want to cry. I'm so sorry you were treated this way. I can't imagine ignoring Father's Day or my dad's birthday. And that expecting intimacy comment your wife said was absolutely horrible. I hope things improve for you. You deserve it. I agree the comment about expecting it is rude, no matter what the context is. And it's worse with context. To say what OP's wife said is incredibly disrespectful to a partner, as if that could make up for a completely ignored birthday is ridiculous. Personally, I would much rather cuddle or watch a movie with my significant other for my birthday than bedroom action. Not saying I wouldn't want to do it though. You deserve better, OP. Damn, this is like reading my journal. I can absolutely relate to you, OP. But I have a different take for you to consider. Go home. You deserve that space you helped pay for. This time, you match their energy. Start saying no. No more taxi service, no parties, no more ATM withdrawals. For your wife, become a gray rock. Speak when spoken to. Just be a member of the family, but no more night service for anyone in that house. Not until they treat you better. Don't fall for the love bombing. It needs to be sincere and last forever. Not just a couple of weeks or months. Also, spoil yourself. All that money you spend on them, spend on yourself. Hit the gym, play golf, and go out with your buddies with limited drinking. Pamper yourself and have personal spa day. I am telling you, a massage, facial, and a pedicure is freaking amazing. If nothing else, you will learn to appreciate yourself, and even if things don't work out, you will be in a better mental state to deal with it all. The last thing is to get your ducks in a row. You will know within the first 48 hours if things will change. If not, contact a lawyer to draft a separation agreement and decide on your next steps. Fortunately for me, things have changed. It's still not perfect, but it's better. I love your advice, but I'd still add that before any kind of separation, they should make a plan to go to counseling. Of course, you can't do much if your wife won't agree to it, but it seems to me that it could be super helpful in learning to communicate with each other. I could also see learning to bond again and appreciating each other also as a part of it. If things have been like this for as long as he says, I don't see how I can so easily switch overnight. If it does, you're right, that's just love bombing. But a change for the positive needs to happen. It's not a communication issue. She's just an awful wife that deserves to be dropped off at the closest dumpster. She's not even in the same stage as decent wife. Way easier to replace her than teach her how to not be awful. Edit to add. Thanks everyone. I did not think anyone would care. You have given me some hope and advice I'm going to look into. I don't know how to respond to a lot of the comments. I know how to, just not in words. I'm going to try to figure things out more. I'm now 100% sober, so my mind is clearer. I'm going to start meeting with people on Monday and try to come up with options. Now for the update. I have not been well, but am doing better. You guys have helped me a lot and it means more than you know. I was able to get help through my work. They have resources for both therapy as well as legal counsel. But somehow my boss found out I was reaching out and now won't leave me alone, but that's unimportant. I know she only has good intentions. So far, I like the new therapist I was able to get an appointment with. I thought there would be a long wait list. She recommended a family/spousal therapist as she focuses more on individuals. I talked to them as well. I got referred to divorce lawyers. I don't want to use them, but I had a talk with them and got an idea of what that route would be like. I'll be like 70% screwed. But we are in a fault state, so if it turns out she is cheating, I'll be okay-ish. My kids did reach out after a few days worried. I told them I'm fine, do truly love them and miss them, but needed space and time. For the first time ever, I missed some of their extracurricular activities. I think that is what made them understand something was really wrong. Some other family members/friends noticed and started asking questions to all involved. My kids also mentioned how things were not the same without me around, and my wife was struggling. My wife reached out a few times just checking in, apologizing, giving me updates on things. And a couple of the times, she asked about the 4th of July. We usually host a party/barbecue. I said I wasn't interested, but said that her and I needed to talk alone in person. That happened the weekend after the 4th. Apparently, she was planning the 4th as a surprise birthday party for me after I had left to make up for forgetting my birthday. But I ruined it. I didn't go and wasn't interested. When we met up to talk, she wasn't alone and brought the kids. I was happy to see them. They seemed happy to see me as well. But I asked for my wife and I to talk alone. When I pointed this out, she said the kids missed me and it was fine. We can talk with them here. I believe it was more of a manipulative move. I explained that this was another example of how my feelings or wants get ignored and cast aside. how I have been ignored for a while, and how that is not right by anyone. She kept apologizing, but I said while I acknowledge the apologies, I don't accept them. Most of the apologies, to me, feel like they are not real, such as her initial apology of "I'm sorry you feel that way," or they sound forced / just saying what she thinks I want to hear. Actions speak louder than empty words. I also said that she is setting an example and expectations on how I'm treated and how our daughters will see and treat me in their future relationships. As of now, no one should be treated this way. I think at this point, my wife regretted bringing the kids. My 14-year-old took my 11-year-old for some snacks, while my 17-year-old stayed. I flat out asked if there was anyone else, if she was cheating physically, emotionally, or otherwise. She looked like I had just slapped her. She said she would never do that. I asked why she was so adamant about us having sex in February when it has been longer. Daughter left at this point. Why has every part of our romance died within a year span from her part? She didn't know. We talked for an additional 20 minutes when I finally took out 2 folders I had with me. One was a separation document, not quite a divorce, but halfway to it. The other was therapist referrals for individuals and couples. I needed her to understand how serious this situation was. I asked her to look over each other and ask herself what she wanted, but she had to make the decision and schedule the appointments. I explained that I'm done living this way, and if she chooses to stay with me, then there are going to be major changes occurring both in our relationship and at home. I love the woman I married, had kids with, and built a life together, but I don't know where she went. My kids came back, and my 11-year-old was mad I wasn't going back with them that night. I gave my wife time. She contacted me the next day, saying she has made appointments for herself and for her and I. She explained that she set up some bi-weekly individual therapy, and we have our first couples therapy early next month. The reason for the wait was so she could establish / work on herself first. I have been using the gray rock method towards her since the initial incident, per yours and my therapist's recommendations. So, it's still a work in progress. I'm not in as dark of a place as I was when I first posted. Some things are better than it was. I'm willing to put in the work, but it won't be one-sided. There is a plan moving forward, so that's a plus. I have been home for a week now, but I'm sleeping in a different room. Some changes have been put in place already, but time will be the real test. As a side note, on the second night of me being back, she actually tried to initiate intimacy, but I said no, that it wasn't the time or place for that. We had a lot to work out before that can happen. As always, peace, love, and chicken grease. I remember reading your first post, and it hurt my heart. I wished I could have climbed through the phone and give you a giant hug. This Redditor is so proud of you. I'm proud of you for getting help you need, and happy to hear therapy is going well. But as someone who watched my mom disrespect / disregard my dad's wishes and feelings, I am beyond proud of you for standing firm with her when she brought your daughters. Lastly, when it comes to the 4th barbecue, you didn't ruin anything. The bottom line is you were hurt, and throwing a party wasn't going to fix it. Would have it been nice? Absolutely. But I don't believe any real change would have been possible. I also just want to voice how loving you sound as a dad and partner. You deserve to feel loved too, and I hope your family realizes that. I'd also be interested to hear if she even started to make the birthday plans to begin with. From the description we have, it seems like something she just threw out to try and cover her behind to sound like she cared. Maybe not, but doesn't seem unlikely. I highly doubt she made plans because she wanted to. According to Opie's initial post, she was surprised and had an oh crap realization after he called it out. Not to mention is blatantly ignored his wishes to speak alone. Doesn't strike me as a caring partner. The kids shouldn't get a free pass either. They're all old enough to know and do better. They would have seen their friends posting and talking about Father's Day, and they did nothing. They didn't care. Any child who doesn't know their parents' birthday, especially one so amazing and present, are just selfish and disgusting. Opie, even if it's temporary, you should treat your kids how they're treating you. No gifts, no acknowledgement, no effort, and tell them why. That level of ungratefulness is inexcusable and demoralizing. Maybe cut back in work hours and treat yourself some more. The kids have probably been learning that from their mom. They don't see her appreciating or expressing affection for him, so they've probably internalized that and think that's normal. That isn't to say it shouldn't be corrected, but I think he's right that correction needs to start with mom first. Withholding affection, especially from the 11-year-old, sounds like a good way to mess things up even worse. My boyfriend, 23 male, cheated on me, 21 female, because he can choose who has access to his body? I found out on Thursday that my boyfriend of 2 years was cheating on me for months with one of my childhood ex-best friends, 20 female, and it has completely and utterly wrecked me. In all honesty, I don't know if I'll ever be able to recover from this. I loved and trusted him so much. Our relationship was literally perfect. And he had the nerve to cheat on me after telling me daily how he's never loved anyone as much as me. I could barely even talk because I was out of breath from crying so much. When I tried my best to formulate a coherent sentence and ask him why he would do this to me, he simply responded by saying, "I can choose who has access to my body." What? This has mentally messed me up, and I still can't comprehend this situation. He texted me today that this doesn't have to end our relationship, and some paragraph asking me why do I care when it's his body and not mine. I tried to explain to him that I valued him being faithful to me as a fundamental part of our relationship, and not sharing his body with anyone else, as I would be faithful to him. Also, we never agreed to be poly or anything. He now says that he understands how much I value his physical body. I never said that, and will be fully aware of that going forward in our relationship. I honestly don't think I can give him another chance though. I literally thought I was going to spend the rest of my life with him, but after what he has done, that's all out of the window. It's just tough, because I can think back about how I never loved or cared about my ex-boyfriends to the level that I do him. And it almost feels like I still do love him, even after he has completely violated me. Are there any reasonable ways that I can go about this from here? And you get to decide that he no longer has access to your body. And her heart. This is actually funny. Honestly, his excuse is so bad it's hilarious. End it now and move on. Opie, you will laugh at this someday, though not now for sure. But 1. You will get over this. And him. 2. You can comprehend this. He cheated on you. He gave a lame, ridiculous excuse to justify it. That's all. 3. You didn't have a literally perfect relationship. You had a relationship with a sweet facade that has been ripped away. 4. You do need to break up with him. You want monogamy. He doesn't. You are not compatible. He is lacking in ethics. He's no brave and principled body autonomy warrior. Because if he was, he would have been honest and upfront about sleeping with your ex-best friend from the beginning. So you could have decided if you wanted to stay with him.